Thank you, Chairman Shaheen, and congratulations to the members of this panel, highly qualified. I'm just going to ask one question, and I'd like maybe, Mr. Robinson, you to address it and then just move from my right to left. And it deals with energy policy. I'm very, very complimentary of the Biden administration's strategy to forge very diverse nations into a quite unified coalition to support Ukraine against the Russian illegal invasion. I don't think it's perfect, though, and here's an area where I'm troubled and increasingly troubled, and that is I think sometimes U.S. energy policy, we want to do a number of different things that are often in conflict with each other. We want to promote green energy to fight climate change. We should do that. We want our allies to develop their own energy resources. They should do that. We also want to help allies wean themselves away from over-reliance on petro-dictators like Russia or Iran or the Saudis or Venezuela. We should do that. Sometimes those are inconsistent goals, and I have yet really to hear the Biden administration articulate a harmonized view of the way we can accomplish those things. The way to do it is probably through phasing. I'm not going to ask you to respond to my critique, but here's where I'm worried. Recently, statements out of the EU have shown some anxiety about U.S. policies. As their energy prices go up, as we're starting to take some trade actions with respect to green energy that affect some of their domestic industries, you see rumblings out of the EU. As we're coming into the winter, that could get worse. So what can the U.S. do to help each of the countries that you hope to be in to deal with the energy crises that are acute all over the world, but particularly acute in Europe with nations that have had to rely upon Russian energy sources? And Mr. Robinson, I'd like to start with you.
Thank you, Senator Kaine, and I agree this is really one of the most foremost issues, whether it's countering Russian aggression or deepening our bilateral partnership or enhancing transatlantic security, and above all, addressing climate issues for the long term, is to get these issues right. I also want to say, having been Deputy Assistant Secretary for Russia, my enormous gratitude to this committee for its leadership on European energy issues over a number of years. That strong bipartisan voice has been very clear from CATSA to PISA, and I thank the committee for the leadership on that. With regard to Latvia, I think this is where we have great opportunity to address the convergence of these different issues, as you rightly point out. Latvia is committed to, has long warned that Russia uses energy as a weapon and they need it to transition to other sources and means for energy for its own national security. They get nearly 50% of their energy, electrical energy from hydro, and they're looking to expand into wind and other sources of renewable that provide an opportunity for U.S. bilateral partnership. As my colleagues have also mentioned, Latvia has joined, like others, the first program at the State Department to look into small modular nuclear reactors. And then lastly, they are looking at increasing, and they have prioritized for the nearer term, increasing LNG imports and are looking to build a new terminal to be able to expand that. So Latvia has committed to moving to carbon neutral by 2050 and really prides itself on making progress in this area. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for U.S.-Latvia bilateral partnership and our companies and our technology in these areas to do this both to address climate and also to enhance energy security for the region.
Mr. Kent, without repeating anything that Mr. Robinson has said.
Estonia's area of current expertise is in shale oil production, and that's where they get over 50% of their energy. Like Latvia, they are interested in exploring small modular reactors where U.S. technology could help. A shared challenge the Baltics face is that their electricity grid is still tied to Russia and Belarus. And so I think our national labs have expertise in gaming out how they might be able to accelerate switching to the European energy grid. So again, I think a combination of our expertise as well as our technology can help Estonia be independent, and they are cutting themselves off of Russian oil and gas ahead of the EU deadlines, because for them it's a matter of principle and they're willing to pay for the inflated costs of energy.
Mr. Merton.
Well, we've been working with Bulgaria on diversifying their energy, both supply and the types of energy they use. I'm happy to report that on the 1st of October, the Bulgarians and the Greece opened up the interconnector Greece-Bulgaria, which will allow the Bulgarians to receive gas from Azerbaijan. As of right now, I understand they receive no Russian gas anymore, which is good. Russia cut them off in April. We're also, the embassy, and we will continue to do this should I be confirmed, have been working with them to look into their nuclear energy supply, how they can develop that further. We've funded a $300,000 study to help them explore options with small modular reactors. We are working with them on resourcing their supply of nuclear fuel for their existing plants. Currently, those are supplied by Russia. We believe that Westinghouse could be another source for them. So we're looking at other options. Bulgaria's got a lot of attention from the administration. We've had Amos Hochstein's been out there, our Assistant Secretary for Energy. Jeff Pyatt has recently been to Bulgaria. This is front and center of our relationship and will remain so should I be lucky enough to be confirmed.
I'm over time, but could I ask the other two to give pithy responses?
Thank you so much for the question. This is also a huge priority for Romania, which is fortunate in that it has already greatly diversified its energy system, and with U.S. help will be expanding in the area of nuclear power. Romania recently signed an agreement with U.S. company NuScale on small modular reactors and is seeking to become a center in Europe for this technology. Also recently, Exim signed 2 letters of interest to help complete the build-out of the Chernovoda nuclear power plants for different locations. So that's another area I will be following up on if I am confirmed. A U.S.-led consortium in Black Sea Oil is also working to bring Black Sea gas online from Romania. And Romania has also shown its leadership in providing energy to Moldova, which is suffering from, cut off from energy supplies from Russia. So I will be following up in all these areas.
Thank you. Mr. Sabat.
Senator Kaine, thank you for the question. The Czech Republic has had a historic reliance on Russia for natural gas and oil. I think 97% of their natural gas consumption has come from Russia. So it's a substantial issue. The United States is engaged in a number of areas here. Number one is establishing new energy sources, new energy distribution routes, fuel types, et cetera. I'm pleased that Westinghouse, an American company, has won the tender for the nuclear facility in Dukovny. It's a 10-year agreement, which is a big step to transitioning from nuclear energy. There's currently another tender at a second facility at Temelin, and we're clearly hoping that also goes towards Westinghouse. And if I'm confirmed, I will be an active advocate for U.S. interests there. The CHES also seeks to be a first mover with SMRs in Europe. The company is engaged with 6 pilots at the moment, and U.S. companies are involved in a number of these negotiations. And if confirmed, I'll be advocating for those procurement opportunities as well to make sure we're on a level playing field. And I commit to you that I will advocate for clean energy sources as a way to not only deal with our climate crisis, but as a way to deal with energy security and independence for the Czech Republic.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Chairman Sheen.